Hi, I am Kristen Joy Hanoba, and I am from Broadcast Journalism.
Now, let's move on to the three revolutions. In the early times, people used to wonder what created days and nights. They wanted to know what heavenly bodies like stars, moons, and planets. The invention of telescope allowed people to take a look at the outer space, but it also piqued their interest in knowing what was out there. In the 16th century, Nicholas Copernicus, a Polish mathematician and astronomer, as well challenged the Ptolemaic model. Nicholas proposed heliocentrism, which stated that the center of the solar system is not the Earth, but rather the Sun. He was persecuted as a heretic, which defined as someone who has an opinion that differs from what is widely accepted. However, it was gradually accepted by the public during a period of time known as the birth of modern astronomy. Now, let's talk about the one of the most controversial intellectual revolutions of its time, the Darwinian Revolution.
In 1859,
Charles Darwin, an English naturalist, biologist, and geologist, published a book on the origin of species.
Have you ever questioned why there are so many species on Earth? The answer lies in a concept called natural selection, proposed by the great biologist Charles Darwin. Darwin's theory of natural selection explains how organisms with advantageous characteristics are more likely to survive, reproduce, and pass those traits on their offspring. This procedure eventually results in the evolution of new species. So how does natural selection works? Naturally, it starts in variation. There is a range of variation in characteristics such as size, color, and behavior within any population of organisms. Long ago, giraffes had short necks that hindered them from eating more leaves from the tree. So they adapted to the environment by stretching their necks to obtain more food. Its offspring would inherit the longer neck and continuous stretching over several generations and would make it even longer. Natural selection is important because it helps us fully understand the amazing variety of life on Earth. It provides an explanation for why certain animal species differ.
Sigmund Freud.
He was one of the most famous names in psychology. Even his ideas have been abandoned by modern psychology. His psychoanalytic theory formed the basis for many current psychodynamics theory. He is the first to discuss the unconscious mind and its role in human behavior. He also argued that personality is a product of three conflicting elements:
The id, ego, and superego.
imagine yourself as a child. You are confronted with a choice. On your left side, a little devil pushing you to have a bad choice. On your right side, a little angel is encouraging you to make a good choice. And you are stuck in the middle and forced to make a decision that will affect you. The id is the biological component of the personality. It includes your instincts. It operates in our unconscious mind. It is like a little devil that's always selfish and greedy. It operates according to the pleasure principle. The pleasure principle is the idea that all your needs should be met immediately. The superego. Exists in all three levels of consciousness. It is like a little angel. It is always concerned with what is socially accepted. The superego pushes you to obtain the ego idea, or your view of what is right.
Finally, we have the ego. The ego operates in your pre-conscious and conscious mind. The ego is part of the personality that makes your decisions and make the consequences.
The ego operates according to the reality principle. It is the idea that the desires of the id must be satisfied in a method that is both socially appropriate and realistic.